Hello everybody, I'm DaveChaos and welcome to Hardware Heaven's review of the Razer Nostromo. In this video we're going to check out the new features in this version of the product, and we'll compare it to the old Belkin N52TE to see what changes Razer have made. So here's the Nostromo out of its box. I love these things. I used to have the original Belkin. I've actually got it with me so we can do a couple of comparisons to what differences are from the old Belkin to the new Razer Nostromo. So as you can see, we've got a wrist pad, the ergonomic form factor that they've made for this. If I just bring it around this way, you can see the shape of this thing is quite something. If you look at it square on, yeah, you can see it's got a very unique shape, and the reason for that is because it's perfect for putting your hand on. So I just put my hand right there. As you can see, my palm fits very nicely and reach the buttons without any problems. So you've got your up, down, left, right here, and they fit quite nice, and your thumb reaches these buttons like so, and I'll go over what all these different buttons have the ability to do in a moment. For those of you who've got larger hands than mine, have fairly small hands, you can actually take this off like so and move it down a section, and you just line up the holes. It's really quite simple, and there it is. So that's now in its longer position. You can see that straight away, and yeah, again I can still reach all the buttons even there with my small hand. Yeah, quite like that. It's exactly the same as the old design, which I think we'll have a quick look at now, and I'm going to point out the differences between Razer Nostromo and what used to be the Belkin N52TE. So as you can see, it's quite battered. I've had it for a very long time. Yeah, so let's go over the differences. The first thing you'll notice with this one is that the rubberization on the keys and everything is worn away. Now, I can't comment on this section because I don't know if Razer have changed it. It feels different. This is much smoother on the Nostromo, but on the Belkin it's got more of a drag, rubberized feel to it. So I think they have definitely changed it. The feel of it is definitely different. So hopefully they've rectified that problem from this one. The other thing you'll notice is these keys have worn off, and with this one they're just flat, like laptop sort of keyboard keys. The actual shape of them are the same on the Nostromo, but the feel of them is different. So these are more rubberized. They've got a non-slip sheen to them, whereas these haven't. They're quite slippy, basically. So they've definitely changed the finish on the Nostromo. So hopefully there won't be this wearing away issue. But you've got to note that I've had this thing for maybe 5 years. So, you know, they've had a lot of time to improve things. So the other thing I wanted to point out is the cable in itself. So if you can see with the old Belkin, it's just standard plastic cable. And with the Nostromo, you have a lovely cloth braided cable, which I love to see on any peripheral really, because, you know, it stops the drag on the back of desks and things like that. There's ways around from getting cable drag, but I much prefer to see them braided like this. So, other things that you want to note on the back side of here, it's all got rubberized pads, exactly the same with the old design. They haven't changed the back end of this at all, and you'll notice that there's a button here for the light. So there is actually a blue backlight for this camera, which we're going to check out in a moment. We're going to plug it in so you can have a look. You'll also want to note that this is USB is gold plated, which is good for signal. So the keys on here, you have 16 fully programmable hypersensitive keys right here. They are extremely fast reacting keys when you're pressing the buttons. You've also got the programmable thumb pad. This has got 8 different programmable directions. You can even press it in. There's also another one here, and you have another one here, key number 15. And you notice that there's some LEDs right here. Now these will indicate profiles, because you can actually have a multitude of profiles on here. In fact, you can have a total of 20 different game profiles altogether, and you can colour these different LEDs, have different colours, and you can set those so you got a good idea of what profile you're on. So I think the next thing to do is to plug this in, see it lit up, and we'll also have a look at the software. Okay, so I've turned my backlighting off, and as you can see now, we've got a lovely blue colour on here, and as you can see, there's one of the profile lights. I believe we have red and green as well. We'll check that out in a moment, and of course we'll check this switch. You switch that off, and there we go. You only have your profile light lit up now, not the backlight. Some people find it distracting to have a lit up thing, but it looks rather nice. So there it is. Let's check out the software now. Okay, so here's a view of the Razer Synapse program. For those of you familiar with Razer, they have one program to suit all peripherals that they do, which is fantastic. Links are in the description on how to download that program, and it will automatically know when you've installed a Razer product to your computer, and you'll have like a menu right here to choose between the different peripherals. So it's extraordinarily simple. I'm going to go through it with you, and there is nothing difficult about this whatsoever. You start on the left hand side, you can create profiles, so we're just going to use a default profile. You can add one by pressing the plus, delete it with the bin there, and you can also import and export profiles as well if you already have one set up. So we're just going to leave it as profile, and the thing that comes into its own here is where you can select, you can create basically 20 different profiles for different programs, and the way that works is by linking a program. So if we click link program, it'll also bring up this. Unfortunately, I don't have any games installed on this computer, so let's see. We've got 3D Mark. I don't know if it's in there. No, it's not. Of course not. It would be in here somewhere. Program files. Oh, maybe it's in here. Oh, there we go. We can get it maybe to open this. So this is my recording software. So let's just tell it to open that. Sorry, let's just select that. So we'll leave that for a moment, and I'll come back to that in a minute. Now, on the right hand side, you've got your key mapping. So you've got all the different ones that you can select. So you want to select your key map one, and then come over to your keys, which are right here, and as you can see, you basically just click on the key you want to map. So simply, let's go for key number 1, and then you will need to choose what you want this key to be doing. So at the moment it's set to default, which is tab, and we want this to be, say, let's make it a keyboard function. So you click here, and you basically press a key. So let's say Q, for example, and then you would click save, and then that key is then bound to Q. In fact, let's do it. So we want to set that to function Q, save it, and then when you mouse over, it'll tell you that key number 1 is Q, and then you can literally just go, nope, I want that to be the default, which is tab, save that, and it's back to tab. And you can just go through each key and set them up to your liking. Of course, with the scroller, you can set up the scroller, so you got scroll click, which is the central, you can click it down, scroll up, scroll down, and we can change them to different functions. So as you can see, we can make macros or joystick, multimedia, disable it completely. Yeah, so that's fairly simple as well. And then for the side keys, you can click this button to go to side view, and you can now change these. So the way I used to have it with my old Nostromo was I would have this key as my profile quick change key. So what you do is you would switch key map key, have it on that one. And you can select, you can set that to anything you like. You know, like this key here is it's just a round button, as you can see. You can change that to it if you like. I think I did have it on there for a while. Look, you can change these as well. So you got up, down, left, right. You can change those to, again, anything you like in there. So that's really, really simple. Once you've set all that up, you're basically done. You save your profile, and that is it. One other thing that there is to point out on here is the lighting. So you select your profile on the left hand side. You can just change the lighting of the actual keypad. I don't know, I mean, it's got an on off switch on the underside of it anyway, but you can change that if you wanted to. So let's look into this key mapping a little bit more. So you'll notice that there's these little indicators next to it. So you've got key map 1, which is blue, so that would be the blue indicator on your Nostromo. Key map 2 is red, then you've got green, and then you've got red, blue, green, red, all three, green, red and blue, and then none. And basically each key map has the ability to link programs in. So back to what we did earlier with the DxTory program, what will happen is every time I launch DxTory, it will know to launch key map number 1. So the idea behind that is if you have games installed, say for example PlanetSide 2, you could link in a program, select PlanetSide 2, and the Synapse program, the Razer Synapse program, will know that you want, say that was say that was PlanetSide 2 in there, and you told it to load key map number 2. You see how the light changes there? It also changes on the pad. So that's what will happen. You launch the game, Synapse will know that you've launched that game, and it will automatically load in key map number 2 for you. So that is a very, very nice feature. So let's move on now. Then of course you've got the macro building tool. So you can basically, you've got macro 1, and you can, again, like the profile editor, add macros, delete macros, give you macros names. You get your recording delays, default delays, no delay. You can record it there, and of course if we just click record, and there you go, you've got mouse button, F key, M key, stop, and then you've recorded your macro, and you can just insert that into your profile. And obviously once you've named your macro, you can go back to your keypad, customize, and say you wanted that particular macro to be on there. You go to macro, and there's macro 1 in the list straight away, and different play times, so you can set your macros to whatever keys you like. And that is essentially it. It is extremely simple to set up, very good to use. This is one of my favourite products from Razer. As you already know, I used to have the original Belkin, so I can't speak highly enough of this. I hope you enjoyed this video from me. It's a first for me with Hardware Heaven, and don't forget to rate, and if you want any more information, all the links are in the description. I'm awarding this a Hardware Heaven Gold Award. Catch you next time.